What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. I'm glad that you could join this evening, and I hope that you're having a good evening. If you're not watching the Democratic debate beat down or whatever's going on that side of town. I'm your host, Ed Honcho. I guess I gotta fix this. This is not right. I'm not gonna lie, there's something else. I told you I was gonna give y'all Women's Wednesday. I might have to get away from the themes because then they restrict me from doing certain things. But then y'all be like, well, you had a man Monday and you ain't do Women's Wednesday. So anyway. So, again, Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter if you want to follow my personal social medias. Like the video, subscribe, share. It's gonna be very interesting. Professor Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? I don't know, they all hiding. I don't know where they at. Monday through Friday, weekdays at 1 p.m., 10 p.m. every night, 7 days a week. So, make sure you join us. Den Show podcast on Saturdays. Audio, make sure you go to denshowpodcast.com so you can join us for that, for the live audio podcast. You can call the Den line anytime. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support the community, make a one-time donation. You go to streamlab.com/the Den Show. And if you want to support the community on a monthly basis, you can go to patreon.com/the Den Show. Shout out to James, Stina, Starry-Eyed, Kate Grace, Betty Spaghetti, Dan, Diana, Goya, and Donald Trump. Make sure I didn't forget anybody. I don't think I did. If I did, I apologize. I usually do the countdown on my fingers. So let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about some things. We lagging a little bit? We lagging? Okay, let me see what we got going on here. All right, let me see. We'll figure it out. Man, I heard Tulsi hit her with a jabber cut. I heard she wasn't ready for it. She tried to finesse it, but dumb people are gonna fall for it. Professor Trio, what's the motherfucking deal? Mike Rock, what's the motherfucking deal? Rochelle Foster, Coltrane, what's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. D the Gamma Maze, what's the motherfucking deal? Joyce Chit Chat, dedicated to you. You say, well, I'll be expecting you to call in then. Soul Better, always good to hear from Miss Soul Better. Glad. I hope you're doing well. So y'all know we're gonna be on the note today, as I think I've been doing pretty good for the most part of this week. So we will be 2 hours on the needle or right or close to the needle. So if you want to get your call in, make sure you get your calls in early. When I do open up the line, it's not open yet. And we will have the 10-minute rule on, so that way everybody who wants to get their calls in can get their calls in. Oh, the camera's lagging. I'm a little bit behind. Okay. Let me see what's going on here. Do-do-do-do-do. 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 Be-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Oh, my fuck. I have the Asian effect going on for a little while. We'll be out. So, let's talk about it. So we're going to talk about women in power tonight. And I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I got to think about these theme days. Or maybe Mario should have said something yesterday for Twitter Tuesday. Because I really wanted to talk about the Mario thing. But like I said, I told the ladies I'd give them a Women's Wednesday. And so y'all can't attack me about being biased or anything like that, right? So, Noah, what's the motherfucking deal? And Mac 11, only one lie, what's the motherfucking deal? And so, I want to talk about women in power. Is America afraid of women in power? Is America biased against women? And we talk about women and they don't get a fair shake, but what about some of the women historically who have been legendary, who have done great things? You got your Joan of Arcs, you have your Cleopatras, you have these type of women who have been leaders of men, like the NFL Network likes to use a lot. They've been leaders of men. And if these women were able to find success, what is it that is keeping other women held back? What is it that's keeping other women from being able to see the same level of success if that's what they seek? Or is it that women don't truly want that? I think the idea sounds good, but in reality, they don't want to do what it takes to do that. As a matter of fact, they were just talking about, there was a recent story about a lady who I believe was in Washington's army or something like that, and she was dressed like a man because she wanted to fight. Yes. Yes, a different one, Professor Trill. Yes. Sweetberry and I think that's. I don't even know why I said Sweetberry. So I want to get to it, man. I want to get to it, and one of the things that I want to talk about is, like I say, I'm trying to keep it bad. I'm trying to keep it fair for the ladies. I told you I'd be positive. But before we get into that, I want to talk about the goddamn Mario Lopez thing, because tomorrow it'll be stale. And there'll be no point in talking about it. But I'm still probably going to talk about it. Tomorrow's what's tomorrow, first? I think 31st? Yeah, so tomorrow will be the first. We'll get back on all the short form content. Everything will be back in order for the start of the month off right. But if you didn't hear, Mario Lopez said some things on the Candace Owens network podcast thingy, whatever she has going on. And basically he talked about the weird thing in Hollywood with these people. And he was talking about, these people putting their kids on hormones and thinking they know that they're a boy or a girl at 3 years old. They don't know the fucking difference. And so he said it, and a lot of people were like, hey, it's true. This motherfucker received immense backlash. Like, if y'all don't realize that fucking America is crazy yet, if you don't realize that America is crazy, the fact that this man received backlash for talking about parents who put their kids on hormones at 3 years old, and people were angry about that, right? And people were angry about him saying that. That lets you know the state of this country right now and why it's in such a downward spiral. Because people are fucking stupid. People are fucking emotional, and they're ignorant, and they don't fucking think. And you got others. The others. That's what I'm going to start referring to them from now on. The others. Talking about, that's some type of oppression, or it's who was some one of the black others comes out and says, well, I'm a social worker and I'm trained to spot some type, I forgot what's the word he used, but basically saying that children are being oppressed because of they're not being able to pick their gender, like some dumb stuff. And it's like, this is where we're at as a country. When you have an opinion, and then and people will, he needs to come talk to me. I'm not going to fault him. I can educate him or teach him about this. So education now means agreeing with me on my ridiculous ass beliefs. That's what educating. That's what learning means nowadays to certain aspects. I'm going to educate you to succumb to my feelings of my mental illness. That's education. No child should be worried about or trying to decide that if they're a boy or a girl at the age. Motherfuckers ain't hit puberty because he was talking about the long-term consequences of putting these kids on hormones and the emotional and physical impacts it could have when you're doing it at an age as young as 3. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people are doing. That's what people are doing. And so, Miss Meat, I'm glad that you're here, because you're going to have to call in and defend that, because you said you wouldn't even vote for the woman, and yet you said that America won't. So I'm going to need you to call in tonight when I open up the line to justify your statement with valid reasoning. But I just had to speak on this thing real quick because it was so foolish to me. It was so foolish what was being said. And then, like I said, this man didn't call me, didn't say anything insulting. Sounded pretty factual to me. And he received all kinds of backlash. It wasn't just everywhere. All these media outlets, all this stuff. Yeah, I agree, Coach. I think Tulsi she makes more sense to me than anybody out right now. But she's not the one that certain people want, because she doesn't have that POC about her. So she's not black like Kamala, or, she's not Elizabeth Warren. She doesn't have that Indian in her, so for the women folks, she's not good enough. But I think reasonable people are looking at what she's saying and saying, the left is getting so far away from the centrist ideology. They're all going That's what was the debate I think last night, and we're gonna have we're gonna talk about the Democratic debates tomorrow. I want to let both of them play out before we got into it, and I didn't watch tonight, but they're more concerned to catering to the fringes of the party, and that's why I say Trump is smart, because he's got people worried about trying to defend AOC and Ilhan and all these people who are fringe. They're like fringe, like they're crazy, they're lunatics. I don't care what anybody says, they're crazy women. And I want to talk about women in power, but those women specifically are lunatics, and I'm glad that that was mentioned. Because now people are associating Democrats with them and their craziness, and they're not really, the center is the centrists, I guess you would call them, moderates or whatever you would call them. They're getting dismissed, and that's why he's going to win again, and he got them all in a frenzy. But anyway, how do you make a bet on that? Who do you blame for that? Because if women are partaking in the woman not getting elected, then whose fault is that? That's not a legitimate bet. But again, women in power. You have your Oprahs. You have your what's the other one? Somebody else. You get your Queen Elizabeths. You got all these people. You have women who are in power. Now you say the numbers may not reflect what you want it to, but is it because of the way society was, or is? Because I mean, think about it now. Most women sit here and we have these conversations. Again, this is not dissing, these are facts. That they want a man that's going to take care of them, that's going to do this and going to do that. If you have that level of ambition to be a protector and to be all these things, so if most women don't want to be the protector, do you think more women are out there striving for these positions that men would be in that tend to lead to other positions of power? You know what I'm saying? And so, again, this is not an insult. This is just things that I think you kind of have to think about. So, again, it's a lot of factors, I believe, that play into it. Why there are not more women in positions of power. And what you have is you have the few women you have women who support it and believe in it, but they don't necessarily want to do it. You know what I mean? They'll push the idea. It sounds really good, but they don't want to be the ones that go out there and do it. So a lot of people like to have figureheads. They like to talk about it. They like to put the figureheads out there, but they don't want to be the figurehead. They don't want to be the one that has to go through those things to, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to be the one that has to go through the turmoil, the pain, or whatever it is that it takes to get there. So I think that as an idea, it sounds really good, but I want to get to the root of why women feel like there may not be more women with power. Why are there not more women in positions? And again, it's very interesting. Why are the women who are mainly in power, why are they of a certain belief more so than another, right? Cory Booker's gay. That's why. He's gay with his homeboy T-Bone. Yeah, he's gay, but he said he was dating some actress, but you've never seen them together, right? So again, there's a whole lot of stuff. All right, Cartier, you have confirmed your vote. I got you. So that's just all I see. I tell you, when I see it, I will confirm it to let you know I saw it. And even though there was some vote tampering that was going on earlier, we won't even talk about it. So again, and I think a lot of it, yes, does have to do with modern society. So excuse me. My thing is this, right? And if you got a question if Cory Booker's gay, well, then you come on, Miss Me. You don't know. You talk about having being able to peep game. I don't know about you. But why is it? Even think about the women in power in America. Where are they all at? They're all generally left leaning. Are there very many powerful Republican? Maybe so in business. I don't know. Like I say, I guess powerful women CEOs and things like that. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up. I didn't take the time to look it up before the stream. But think about it. Why is it mainly on one side? Why do you think they push it? Why do you think they succeed on that one side? Are you thinking that Republican men are preventing women from finding jobs in powerful positions? Maybe are conservative women thinking differently, or are they maybe more housewives? What is it? What is it about certain people I hate that goddamn Professor Trill. I appreciate the love. Shout out to Professor Trill. But now, ain't no black pirates in Pirates of the Caribbean, is there? I don't know. I ain't never watched any of them. I've never seen any of them. YouTube. Oh yeah. YouTube CEO. But again, well, to y'all it might be pointing to the right, but yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. And then why is it that when women in power, they tend to manipulate things based on emotions, not necessarily facts. Okay. So again, I'm just telling you what I see. This is not an insult. This is not an undermine. We're voting. If you want to vote for your favorite moderator, we're taking votes until Saturday. And so the moderators, for those of you who don't know, are the people who have the wrench next to their name. And so favorite moderator. So you, whatever your criteria is for that, you're entitled to vote. The hashtags, I didn't see the hashtags. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I gotta pull it back up. Let me see if they let me do it over there. I gotta go. Let me see. Hashtag. You know what I'm saying? This thing over here, I'm like Kirkpatrick. Let's see what's going on with these hashtags. I should do a poll, but I don't know why I won't do a poll because people don't be in consistently, so I allow people to do it. The hashtags, I don't see the hashtags. I just see the dilly dally. Hold on one second. Oh, okay, I don't know if it's tripping. I'm not pushing too much stuff, so I haven't messed it up. But again, I'm all over the place. But again, like I said, my thing is, did it cut? I'm trying to make sure they cut the thing off. All right, we're good. My thing is though, with women in power, do they pander to other women? Are they really thinking about what's best for society as a whole? Or do you think they just use that to establish themselves in positions of power and maybe they don't really think the way that they put themselves out there? Let's be honest. I want to talk about Hillary for a second, then I'm going to open up the lines. We'll have the conversation. We'll expand the conversation. And yes, we do have the 10-minute rule in effect tonight because I want everybody to have a chance to speak. And I'm going to do better about keeping my monologue to about 20 minutes so that way we can take more calls. But Hillary had a chance. Hillary won the quote-unquote popular vote, right? But yet she lost where it counts. And now all of a sudden people want to change the electoral college for some reason. But it's worked so well for so long until you didn't get the win you wanted. Now it doesn't work anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I think the electoral college is necessary. I think it's extremely important because again, people who live in big cities and metropolitan areas and things like that have different needs than people who say may live in more rural areas, who may live in, they may not have the same reach or they may not have the same concerns. And so what happens is, I think those people in those metropolitan areas, those people get more of a say-so when it comes down to it, and they're not thinking about the needs of people who are around. Because people are, come on, let's be honest. You think about your life as you go to your day-to-day life. You're not thinking about, well, what are the Eskimos going through right now, and what can I do to make Eskimo life better? Nothing, right? Yeah, cut them off. I didn't see the hashtags on there. That's what I was trying to see. He didn't announce it, so let's keep him heterosexual till he does. Man, come on, I'm not putting him in he's not in the club. No, fucking Cory Booker's not in the club. Fuck no. He already diluting the energy. Him and Victor Blackwell and all the rest. Any black man that CNN promotes is probably gay. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a question to Al Sharpton. You know what I'm talking about? But my thing is this, right? My thing is this. I'll put a poll up. I guess I could put a poll to see who all, so everybody knows who all the mods are. I'll see if it shows up. But I want to get into it. So when we open up the line here, I want to know what women think. I want to know how women feel. if they feel like they've been getting violated, if women are held back when it comes to positions of power, and why don't you believe that women, or do you believe women are fairly represented, or do you feel like women are unjustly held back? I just want to know what the women feel tonight. Now, this is not saying that the fellas can't call in, because I want to know how y'all feel too. But I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people say it is. So, I'll start with MSNBC. Oh, well. Is that much better? Rather kick a kitty in front of Peter. Oh, good God. Okay. Okay. Damn. You came in and put the smack down on Sweet Berry. That's like Sweet Berry got the #1 headband. You know, you gotta have a #2 to challenge her for it. But let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Let's let me open up the line. Shout out to Miss K Gray. Shout out to 335. Shout out to Jess Sarah. Shout out to Jackie, Giant Miss, Lockwood. Anybody I may have missed earlier. Angela. I want Angela to call in. She always act like we just be harassing the lady folks. We just don't want to see her win. But she said herself she wasn't gonna vote for Hillary, so how she gonna win if you ain't vote for her? Yeah, I'm talking shit. Yeah. Oh, Al is a pal. Al be finessing. Like I said, Al put out the right tweets. He said the right things, and you know, niggas still love Al Sharpton for some reason. Don't know why. Don't understand it. Don't comprehend it. But it is blatantly out. Niggas, same niggas that love rap music talk about no snitching. Love Al, right? But that's a whole nother story. Player, we're gonna talk about that at another time. Let me see what do we got going on. 10-minute rule is in effect, and the line is on. So feel free to call in. I want to know how y'all feel. I want to know what y'all are thinking. Yeah, I'm very upset about Mario, man. I was talking about that. I'm so upset about him, and yeah, he did. And okay. Oh, we got another vote in. All right. Oh, wrong book. Okay. Interesting. I'm telling you, the race is very interesting. Get your votes in. You can vote via the chat, but I have to confirm you. If you vote in the chat, if I don't say something about it, I probably didn't see it. So it's best to either text the den line, text one of the social media platforms, or hit me up on one of those to get your vote registered. So that way it counts. All right, let's see. It is a tight race, though. That's all I'm gonna say about that, player. And you don't. You only get one vote, so don't y'all be trying to double dip. No, I hadn't seen 13 Hours. I heard about it. I have not seen it. Somebody, did you tell me about it? Somebody told me about it. But when it comes to the women folk, I think it's misrepresented that women are not in positions of power. Let's see what we got coming. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Man, it's your boy Roman.
Roman Reigns. What's the motherfucking deal, Roman? What is on your mind this evening? What do you think about women being in positions of power? Do you think that there is enough fairly represented? Do you think that there's a bias again? I mean, what are your thoughts on women in power?
This is how I am, Honcho, man. I'm a very nice person, man. So my views might not be as detailed and educated, probably as older people, and I accept that. So mine might be more watered down version, if you want to say, more simple all day. I would say this, that I think it matters on the woman we're talking about. Good example. I think it's a different, like talking about the debate that just happened last night, right? I think there's a difference from like a Tulsi to a, who can I say? Tulsi to like a, what's that woman name? That Williamson. I think they're they're both women. We all know that. But with Williamson, I can't think of her first name. She seems like she's more just, promoting women's rights, women everything, men are horrible, LGBT rights. It's very just she's for one side. You get what I mean? And then when I feel like when you hear somebody like Tulsi talk, it just when you hear her talk, she seems like, hey, we'll work this thing out. I feel like it matters on the woman. You get what I mean? Because not every woman thinks the same. Not every woman is a feminist. Okay, and people do not realize in this new line of feminism there is still, in my opinion, two different types of feminism. You know, like I say, when you talk about the original feminist movement, you're talking about people who just believe in equal pay. This shit, they can do a job a man can do, which I have no problem with that. I don't think that's just a big, huge problem. But I think in the new generation, men are horrible. Men do everything wrong. You want all of the rights, but you don't want equal responsibility for bullshit. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what I fear, when I feel like what men fear, when I feel some women don't understand, is that the thing is, women have always feared that men are not equal to, men are not equal to women, and women don't get the same opportunities. Men, same thing. We get a very feminist woman in office. We feel like we're not going to get treated right, and then I've heard some women, well, we've been treated like this for thousands or hundreds of years. But the thing is, we're in 2019, baby. The thing is, we can't always go back to the past and say what was what. We're moving in a generation that is more accepted to women and LGBT and black people and all that. So the thing is, you can't always explain that excuse. You know what I mean? So I think that's what I think we feel. Like, damn, we get a woman here, it might be unfair. It might be that we're going to get attacked everywhere we go. To where this new feminist movement will grow where men can't do anything wrong. Men can have an opinion on anything. You said it best, Honcho. Even men can't even have their own opinion how they feel about their own kids. And then, men can't have a say so when it comes to abortion. You get what I mean? It's tiny things. I feel like if you pit the wrong woman in office will cause those rifts that we don't need. You get what I mean, Honcho?
Yeah, no, I get you. I got you.
I think it just matters on who you're pitting in there. I think you put in a woman. I feel like you would put Hillary in there, man. I'll really be honest with you, man. I think if you put a Hillary in there, I think women wouldn't have got all those rights they was proclaiming. And I'll even explain you why, man. Hillary ain't dumb. Hillary been in the game for too long, man. She know that men run this shit, and men run politics all around. And that's who she was going to persuade to, especially white men at that. You get what I mean? You got to think about it. So many small people who still run politics and House of Representatives and Congress and all that. So I feel like you put her in office. I just don't think she was swayed to all what women would have said to. I think she was kind of putting that on for a front, like a lot of politicians. You pin on for a front because you want the vote. These politicians look at people as votes. So I think, I really think that's what she would have did, to be honest with you. So, like I say, how I feel, I just generally feel that it's who you put in, man. But that's what I got to say. But I got one question for you, Hunter, before I go.
All right, what's up? What you got?
Man, did you watch the second part of the debate, part 1 or part 2 tonight?
No, I hadn't had a chance to see the second part. I said I was going to try to catch it either in the morning or probably in the morning because I'm actually taking my ass to bed tonight. So I'll probably catch it in the morning and talk about it.
Well, I'm not going to talk all about it because I ain't got time. But I'll say this, man. Tulsi was strong tonight, man. She was strong.
Yeah,
Tulsi went at that Kamala, man.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I'm surprised Google's actually showing her ads today because, like I say, I read a little something about it, and I saw the Tulsi Gabbard 2020 stuff. But again, that still has a significant impact on the last time when she first had a chance to get introduced. For people to have a chance to really get to know her policies, that put a significant delay on that. And so I really believe that there's a lot of tomfoolery and a lot of shenanigans going on. And if we want to talk about women in power, we're speaking about Hillary. Let's think about it. Hillary swayed the entire election. We can talk about Russian. We can talk about emails. We can talk about Hillary swayed the entire election because Bernie won the Democratic vote. Let's be honest. But like he really did. But she, because
Oh
she was
yeah,
funding it,
I feel
because
like
she
he.
suppressed this stuff.
I believe Bernie beat her in all the debates, in my opinion.
Yeah. But because she funded the DNC and everything like that, and she had a whole little network behind the scenes helping to, promote her and push her to the forefront, she didn't truly win it. And it was crazy to me how she felt so entitled for at least a year or two after losing. She just felt like, I should have won, I was supposed to win. But, took no responsibility in the fact that you basically, bought your election or bought your nomination, on top of Bernie. Not saying
And
that
it's not
it would
just
have been the
that,
best move.
Honcho. This is what she did wrong. I'm sorry, I interrupted. This is what she did wrong, man. She didn't campaign in the states that matter. If I remember correctly, she didn't campaign in Philadelphia. She didn't campaign in Ohio. She didn't campaign in the tiny states that's always you needed. She lost. I don't think she had much campaign knowledge even in Florida, which was battling and Trump ended up winning. And 9 times out of 10, I think it's probably about 70, they said 75% chance. Whoever wins Florida is going to win the debate. So it's the tiny thing she did tonight to not win. So that's why I kind of bring back to my argument. It matters on who is knowledgeable, especially as a woman getting in there, man. Because if you're just getting a full lefty, or especially just a full, these are all the agendas I want to push, man, I feel like you're just creating a barrier for more problems. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you're not getting nothing done. But, like one thing I told my sister, man, look at Honcho. I think you got all these candidates running for president. I think it's 20, right? A lot of these people going to drop out by the next time the next debate happens. But I was telling her, Andrew Yang did good tonight. Yeah, and he really did. I gotta give him credit. He stepped up. I think Tulsi did good.
They didn't cut his mic off?
What is that?
I said they didn't cut his mic off tonight?
No. He did good, man. He tagged Biden. I would say Corey did good. Biden got all that tags tonight. I would say even Corey did good tonight. Kamala and actually Biden did the worst. But they was the two head ones going into this debate. I feel like both of them they had times when they were strong, and then they just faltered. But I'll say one thing: the reason why you won't see these tinier candidates that might be because presidential thing is gonna come. The Trump is gonna go down to Biden, Sanders, and I feel like Elizabeth Warren. And that's it, because their household name, people who've been Democrats for years know them, and that's who I feel like who's going to get the nominations. But we'll see, man. I've been going too long, man. I'll be getting off track sometimes. I'm sorry. That's the call.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in there, Roman.
Man, anytime.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So somebody said, imagine a menopause one. I think that that's a thing to consider. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Hi.
I wonder with the mentality of most women. I think most women, they're not the feminists. We know that's a whole different breed. But I think most women look to men to be leaders and protectors. And do most women feel comfortable with another woman being in the lead? And I'm curious about that. This thing cut shit up. Are women comfortable with other women being, at the forefront of things? Because we had an argument a long time ago about women's sports and why women's sports weren't doing as well. And welcome, Andy. You're the newest friend in the den. Look, y'all, we're getting subs again. Remember, we were out. I wonder if I was put in detention because I think I'm in the last 28 days. I'm like negative 30 some subs. So it's all good. Let me see. They would have to be beyond it. Some honesty pistachios. Well, since you asked, since people say I be biased about my pistachio distribution. But my thing is this. I gotta figure out if it's the batteries or what is breaking this. Imagine this happens. Yeah, I just swapped these batteries out not that long, so I don't think that's the case. But my thing is this, like I said, we talked about women's sports, right? And well, we talked about the WNBA. Why don't more women support the WNBA? And you had like one or two women say, "Well, I do," and I have, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for the most part, women don't even watch women's sports. They don't. They don't. I don't think women support each other unless it's like against a man. But when it's women competing against each other, I don't think women support that as much. The soccer team is one thing. They're like super champions. The whole nation was behind them. But like a basketball league, they don't get the same. You could take all the dudes out of a WNBA game, out of an NBA game, and just leave the women that are there. And that would probably double or triple the number of women, probably the whole attendance of your average WNBA game. And again, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to be serious. So why don't more women support these things, support these leagues? Women buy stuff. Why don't women buy WNBA jerseys and things like this? Is it because of the stigma? Like, because let's be honest, most of the WNBA players are dyking. They're mostly lesbians and things like that. The chick came out and said because she was a heterosexual woman, like they would ostracize her. And I kind of want to get to that point. Roman was saying something about women feeling like they've been oppressed or suppressed or oppressed, however you want to look at it, for so many years. Is there a fear that once somebody else gets into power that they're going to turn the tables? Because that's generally what happens. When a person feels like they've been oppressed for so long, they want a chance to be the oppressor. That's ultimately what it is 99% of the time, right? See, and that's why I like Bad Boo. She gonna keep it 100. We may not agree on them, them gold diggers, but I do like her opinion. And so that's what I'm saying. And I think like even in competitive force in the corporate world, is it because maybe there's only a few positions, or maybe you think that only certain women are going to get a chance to advance? Like, women are just as competitive as men when put in the right circumstances. And so I think there's a lot of stigma that are placed on men are this, that, and the third. Well, because these are the situations that we're put in to have to be this way. But I think when women are introduced to these same scenarios, they're quite similar, and they might be a little bit more malicious when it comes to it. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, right? Yeah, I'll start from being normal. That's the crazy part about it. I don't know why. I'm trying not to look on the line. I want to hook you up with some pistachio, but for some reason, I don't know what is going on. Maybe I should cut it back on there like that. It might be his batteries. I don't know. I felt like I changed them not that long ago. I don't know, too many zeros. But, okay, are they just bullying? All right, I should have put an extra zero on there. Yeah, like I said, I got some more. Look, it's gonna be a new month. I'm gonna have some new den items coming out. Some different shirts and some things, and I got a couple things to send to some folks. And like I say, I've been. It's about organization. That's what I say. Y'all see, I've been a little bit stingier with the time and cutting out the time on a certain note. Just like I said, I can be a better overall host, because I think that's very important. Now look, where is Angela? Angela was talking all that trash earlier. Where is Angela? You know what I'm saying? But my thing is this, right? That's terrible. That's what y'all vote for. That's the booty watcher. You need to vote for Pete Buttigieg. Do you think so? Do you think women will be less likely? I don't know. Women sometimes they go through some physical things that make them a little aggressive. They may be like, hold up. They might lay the smack down. I don't know. Honestly, I'm looking for. I ain't seen her in a minute. She was in here earlier talking trash. I'm waiting on that phone call. She said that a woman will never get voted in, but she didn't vote for Hillary either. So if it's just about being a woman, or is it maybe that there hasn't been a female option that is suitable at this time? Again, like Coach Smith, I think a lot of people like Tulsi, but a lot of people are not familiar with Tulsi. And in the same way, I think I'm getting a lot of buffering. I'm trying to figure out what the difference in the settings is between this. Because in the sauce, I think when I use it as when I stream via software, it works better. But then here, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to figure some things out. I say a little bit more tweaking, a little bit more. Yeah, because I mean, you think she would let the illegals in? She would see the illegals at the border with their children, and her motherly instinct kicks in, and she just like let them all in, you know. My deal is this, man. My deal is this. I'm not sitting here saying I don't think that. I think women are very intelligent. I think women are very capable. I just think that there has not been a woman who's presented. I think people just hated fucking Hillary. I think like people just hated fucking Hillary Clinton. I mean, that's just it, you know. And so that's why she didn't win. I think there was a lot of people who liked her off of namesake, and because it was a woman, there was a lot of people, a lot of gay people, and a lot of women who voted for her. Just because, like, it wasn't about her policies, just they wanted to see a woman in that position. You know what I'm saying? In the same way, like I think you got a lot of black women who are rooting for Kamala, not knowing what she stood for. That's why I'm glad Tulsi, you know, got on her ass about the, you know, the hypocrisy, where she locked up over what she said. She locked up over 1,500 people for weed charges, but when they asked her if she ever smoked weed, she laughing and chuckling. Yeah, I smoke weed listening to Tupac. You know, I think Kamala's the same person as Hillary. I mean, like I said, it's Hillary in blackface, basically. You know, when she needed to be an Indian, she was an Indian. Now that she needs to be black, she's black. It just is what it is, man. You know, so y'all ain't rocking with Urkel Merkel. And so my thing is, again, like, I don't think it has anything like, but that's why I like Tulsi, because she seems like a well put together woman. And what I mean by that is that she has experience. She has military experience. She just seems reasonable. She just seems like, you know, she seems very logical. You know what I mean? To me, she's not out there pandering. Like, I don't see that. I don't see her selling, just saying anything to anybody. Like, to me, she has the experience to understand why she's saying what she's saying. And it's not like she hasn't been one of those, she hasn't been a politician her whole fucking career. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. Yeah, what was it? Pocahontas' excuse yesterday was, well, why are we allowed to say stuff we can't do? It's my fantasy to be president. I want to have fantasy time. So she just want to say anything the fuck she want to say. The shit don't make sense, man. But you got a lot of people who are, this is why I say identity politics is fucking stupid. Because you got people who are rooting for somebody just because they can relate to, well, she's a black woman, I'm a black woman. Or she's black, or he's a black man, I'm a black. I'm not fucking voting for Cory Booker. That fucking shit is stupid. But you have a lot of people who live their lives by this principle, not just in politics, but they live their entire life by this principle. Like you can't sell me that. Like, yeah, I want to see black people do better. I want to see everybody do better. I don't like identity politics, period, because I think it hurts everybody. Because then you cut off your listening, you cut off your ears, because, you know, well, this person is a white man, and white men have done all this stuff all their careers, so I can't listen to it. And somebody's gonna take that sound clip and say that I'm attacking white men. That's what people do these days. And because he's white and he's just like, I saw somebody, who's the chick? They just hired her at Marvel. The goofy bitch, she said that she would do anything in her power, because Stan Lee was a racist. She would do anything in her power if she was ever hired at Marvel to ruin his legacy. And now she's going back and been deleting a whole bunch of tweets because she's been saying a whole bunch of crazy. She said a whole bunch of crazy shit. Now she works for Marvel. Now she's going to be a writer on some new Marvel shit. She said the guy, the head guy, I don't know if I think he's at Marvel, like the comic guy. She basically called him a racist, and now she deleted all that shit because she's working with, like, these people just say crazy shit. And this is an Asian complaining about all the Asian people are treated this. Asian people are not ruining, they're running the country. I don't care what anybody says. Asian people are winning right now, but yet you got these super liberal, crazy motherfuckers who are just, because the world's not working for them the way they want it to, they'll cry about it and swear it's some POC shit or something. It's people who live in these delusional worlds, and they let racism, sexism, sexual orientation, they let all of this stuff come first and foremost before thinking logically about anything. We talked about Mario Lopez, like the fact that people are condoning and justifying giving a child, a 3-year-old, motherfucker can't talk, motherfucker don't know shit, motherfucker doesn't even know what his genitalia is, and you're talking about giving them hormones because they think they're a boy or a girl. Like, the shit is fucking stupid to me. It's fucking dumb. And people who think like that are illogical. They're unreasonable. And it's almost no point in debating or having conversation with people like that because they're not going to present all the information. They're going to present the information they like and they're going to disavow the shit they don't. I'm going to take in all the information. Even if I don't like the shit, even if the shit makes me unhappy. Because everything's about being happy, right? Even if I don't like it, if it's a fact, it's a fact. I cannot dispute that. It is what it is. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Asians are winning, but yes, she's complaining about Asians because Asians aren't. Because some guy wrote a comic book under an Asian pseudonym. Is that what it is? He's racist. That's yellowface. It's literary yellowface. Yellowface. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. But everybody gotta stop fucking complaining. Like, you're winning. Asians make more money than anybody in this fucking country per dollar, per whatever you want to call it. And they have entire industries shut down. Like, let's talk about it. They've squeezed even the black people that were in black hair. They squeezed them out of there. So like, stop the nonsense, right? Like, stop the nonsense. I don't want to hear it. There's certain people I don't want to hear fucking crying just because one piece of the world isn't working in their favor. You know what I mean? Hey, whoa, what was that? That was important Chick-fil-A information. What just happened there? I was reading that. What's up with that Chick-fil-A sandwich deluxe? I don't know. Tell me about that Chick-fil-A spicy deluxe. So yeah, but all bullshit to the side, you know. And this is not a racial thing. We're supposed to be talking about women, but we get all over it. But it seems like for the most part, it seems like even the women in here, the old like way I do just for ideas. I don't know. You talking about Williamson, Marianne Williamson? I'm gonna be honest. That shit would have felt awkward as fuck, and I'd probably have to tell all those people, look, all you white people, y'all cool. Whatever y'all want to do with the apology thing, that's fine. But y'all gonna have to get your hands the fuck off of me. That shit didn't feel weird to you. It felt like they were trying to take their power or something. They were just, yeah, give me this power. I apologize to you, black man, but give me some of this melanin. Like, it was just weird. Like, come on, don't apologize. You ain't do shit to me personally. I don't want your fucking apology. Like you know, kick Scotty when I wasn't looking at something, you better apologize. But if you didn't do fucking anything to me, you didn't have a direct, your existence, it's not like again, like I talk about, it bothers me because nobody gets to choose how they get here. Your parents have a kid, it is what it is. Nobody said, hey, well, before I get here, I want to be destined to be Bruce Lee or anything like that. Your actions as a person are what determines who you are. Now, if you're doing some old racist ass shit, then you want to apologize. I used to be a fucking racist. Probably kicked a black kid in the ditch when nobody was looking. I want to apologize for that. Fine. But apologize for some shit you ain't have nothing to do with. Like, how does that make you feel better? Like, I don't understand that, honestly. I'm not gonna apologize for. Look, if a nigga stole your purse one time and that's the only black person you ever encountered, guess what? I'm not apologizing for that nigga. I don't. It sucks for you, but I'm not apologizing for him. You know what I mean? What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Up again.
Hey, Miss Grace. How are you, Miss Grace? What's on your mind this evening? How do you feel about women empowerment, Miss Grace?
Ooh, well, let me say this. Behind every great man, they say, is a woman, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But I don't necessarily find the opposite to be true. You know, it's a rarity. I would not want to see a woman being our president. It feels unnatural to me. You know what I mean? And it's compromising their femininity. Look at Kamala. She's running around trying to look like Pee Wee Herman. Saw that. Hillary Clinton's running around looking like a dude. What's her name? Our little Massachusetts, Pocahontas. She's up there trying to look like she's a half lesbian. You know what I mean? Women need to realize a dress is a woman's power suit. We do not need to dress like men in order to be powerful. You can wear a dress because a dress is a woman's power suit. And I don't want to get away from that. I love being a woman. It's fun being a woman. We have our own power, and it's fun to assist a man. You mean, and pull the strings and make things happen in the background. Doesn't mean that we're any less powerful, but we're just not in that position to be seen as powerful. But we have a lot of power behind the scene. You know what I mean? And I would like for us to continue utilizing that.
I agree. We do have a lot of Power balance.
Really, I mean, I can't stand, and it's further pushing that agenda, you know what I mean, of men being like little faggots, I'll say it, you mean, and women running around looking like little dykes. And if a woman becomes president and she's in that position of power, how in the hell can she turn that off or switch gears when she's at home alone with her man? How's she going to do that? How you going to want a man in your and tell her flip over? That is so unattractive. You understand? I'm just too old school for this bullshit. It doesn't feel right to me. What else I can? And that Kemah is an ain't shit bitch. Don't like her at all. And that's all that I have to say. I don't have much more. I know some women might not like what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But that's just truly how I feel. You mean men should be the hunters, even when and there have been women hunters. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, men have been. You mean when men leave and go to another country, you mean they go to explore, to check things out, to get the house ready. You know what I mean? To seek out a job, and then when they get everything all situated, then you start sending for the women and children. And that's the other thing. Who is going to take care of the children if women is running around trying to be in those other positions? They're going to hire another woman to do it for them. Nobody's going to love and take care of your children as well as you. You know what I mean? And are the men going to do it? I've seen some men. They can do a wonderful job raising children and girls and everything, but that's a rarity. It's not the norm. You know what I mean? Women need to be running the households, and in society, things work best, and everything works best, and marriages work best, and relationships work best. You know what I mean? When a woman can take care of that household, you run everything, take care of her man, take care of the children, and we can still go out there and work and be powerful and not put up with any shit either. You mean? But never lose sight of the fact that being a woman is a powerful thing. I mean, we sit up there, we're having the babies, and now men want to try to do that too? You mean, how unique are we going to be anymore if that continues?
Speaking of that,
you mean, I like being able.
You heard about what's his name, Bruce Jenner, trying to have a kid now. Or something.
Yeah, I've been hearing that.
Like you have kids.
That's not.
I mean, it's a whole crazy deal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know, our women, our bodies are designed. God made us this way. We complain about our thighs, and our hips and things like that. That was designed to carry babies. You mean, so what? Now men are going to start growing hips and everything else like us and start looking like us and all curvaceous like that there so they can carry babies? No. I hope I'm dead and gone with that bullshit starts happening because I don't want to see it.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to see it. But I'm not going to stay on because I said you're going to make me tired again on my last day of work. I love you, Honcho, but I am getting off this phone.
All right, Miss Grace, I'm glad you called in tonight, and it's always good hearing from you.
Okay, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm going to be honest, Big M, I expect you to put Bible verses in Spanish. That's what I expect from you. But here's my thing, man. Here's my thing, right? Oh, well, we'll take this call and I will bounce back to that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, it's Bella. Had to call in.
All right, Miss Bell, what's on your mind this evening?
I'm running late today. I'm kind of getting a little grasp of the topic, but what's going on?
Okay, so we're talking about women in power. It just so happens to kind of be leaning politically. But we're just talking about women in power as a whole, because you've had women throughout history who have been very powerful women. We were talking about why aren't more women in power? Do women really support other women in power? And is it kind of a myth? I mean, are there really more women in power than we believe, or is it that because most women don't really want that position? There's just some who do, or some who just kind of support it.
I think it's kind of a catch-22. I mean, I think that women deserve proper acknowledgement for what they've done, but I don't think everybody. I don't want to make an across-the-board assumption. I will definitely say that in a lot of good relationships and marriages that I've seen over the years, the woman in straight relationships, because I think it probably runs a little bit different in gay relationships, and they have no clue, not going there, not going to be even going there. It's just that I don't understand relationships, so it's not something I feel comfortable talking about. But in straight relationships, most of the time, at least in my experience, 8% of the time, the woman has been the one that's held everything up behind the scenes. You know, it's kind of like being the president, in essence, is that they're a figurehead. But all the cabinet stuff and all the politicking is usually done by the woman behind the scenes. You know, just as an example, like, I'm old, okay, and my grandparents were born around the first of the last century. So both my grandparents, the wives did not work and stayed home, although I can't say that because one of my grandmothers worked for a while, and then once she had children, she was home full time. But there was that women were the soul of the home. You know, not every female does it, but they were. And then my mom stayed home until we were old enough, and then she went back to work. So, but she was always the backbone of the relationship, and most of the stronger relationships that I've seen and long-term relationships I've seen, the woman was actually probably the more stable of the two. Now, I'm not saying that the guys are idiots and not doing their thing, because 99% of the time, those men worship the wives. You know, they knew what burdens they carried, and they didn't question it, and they were most of the time in awe of it. I had one aunt that her husband used to call him, he used to call her his bride, and I'm talking after 62 years of marriage. You know, up until she passed away, that was his bride. You know, and I'm not going to tell you they didn't fight, because that aunt and uncle, they would have a good row or two. However, before they went to bed every night, they made sure that there was nothing negative on their plate. And they had 6 kids to show for it. And I think there was like 27 grandkids.
Oh, shit.
Yep. And, you know, but it was a different time, too. You know, growing up in the Depression and the late 50s, and even as I was born into the 60s, it was a whole different time when women knew 99% of what the quote-unquote normal skill was for them is to become a wife and mother. No, not everybody did that. And so, but the thing is sometimes, whether they were male or female, by just staying single and not getting married and having children, it was, you were a confirmed bachelor or an old maid back then. It wasn't the fact that you just didn't want to tolerate being partnered up with anybody. And any woman who was overly assertive about her rights was automatically gay. You know, was automatically a dyke, or automatically this or that or the other pronoun. And it growing up during those times, it was like you got labeled whether or not it was just or deserved, because you felt it was right to stick up for personal rights. You know, and women didn't have that open voice to say anything, because there were men that were abusive. And back then, in those days and times, a lot of times women and men stayed because it was a financial situation. And I know that I've said this before, but do people realize that marriage for many centuries was brokered due to financial, not romantic inklings? Only up until probably, I'd say, the last, I'm not saying that even 300 or 400 years ago they didn't love each other or that, but 99% of the arranged marriages were arranged due to financial gain, not because of emotional gain. And so, interestingly enough, the woman always was used as a... Did you know that up until, I don't know if they still even do it, but they had what's called a dowry.
Yeah.
The woman's family would have to pay the man's family a certain amount of money in order to wed her. I think I might have that backwards. It's been a long day. But I think what it is, like I said, the woman who has a dowry, it's so much money and given to the man's family, it's a bartering system. It has nothing to do with love. It all has to do with whose role does what. Biologically, women are the breeders. We're the ones that breed children, and we're the ones that are to do certain things. Now, personally, I think women can do anything. I think women should be able to do anything. That doesn't mean women can do everything. Now, this was also something that we had talked about. I think that on certain jobs, that men and women should be paid equal for their education and their knowledge and all that. But there are certain jobs that women are better skilled at, and there are certain jobs that men are better skilled at because of their biological nature. Now, I am tired enough not to be able to even go there because that's a totally different topic. But women do have the right and responsibility to, value themselves and value the fact that we have a lot to contribute to society. Do I think that we should be president? I don't know. I mean, I think that if we have a good enough candidate, I have not seen anybody at this point that I find to be out in the running, male or female. But I'm one of those people that I read all the literature. I don't listen to the TMZ and the NewsHour or the CNN or the whatever it is. I make sure that I read solid what their background is and what their potential is. And that's really the biggest part of anything, is knowing as much as you can about what you're getting for your representation. And I don't know where else to go with that. So, Honcho, you got any questions?
No, ma'am. I don't think I have any questions.
Okay. Like I said, I'm just kind of all over the place and I'm exhausted. But, all right, I'm back to the boards, and y'all have a great night.
All right, Ms. Butler, I appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
All right.
Now, I know I owe some pistachio, but I told you I'm having some issues. I guess it must be the batteries must be out on this fucking... I know I changed these bitches not that long ago. But I guess I'm going to have to swap them up. Not tonight, though. But I guess I'm going to have to swap them up soon because this shit is... I don't know what... I can't think of any other reason why. See, now I want to do a little something for this so I can tell the response is off. Female pimp, I ain't never getting no damn pistachios. You ain't never done no pistachios. Now here's my thing, and I agree, with what Ms. Grace was saying, and I agree with, with what Ms. Bell was saying, and I think there's different levels of it. Now, if a woman wants to do anything, she wants to be in the forefront, she wants to do all that, cool. I think she should have the right to do that. But I think what a lot of women see compared to what's really going on is that whole have your cake and eat it too type thing, right? Because let me explain something to you. Once you become the leader, push to the forefront, and all that other stuff, like women don't realize a lot of the benefits they get from even being considered the weaker sex, whether you may or may not be. There's a lot of subtle benefits that you receive, subtle treatment that you receive that goes along with some of the annoying shit too. But when the man does, put you on that pedestal or whatever else it may be, or succumb to your needs, or happy wife, happy life, all that good stuff. Well, if you're running a household, none of that, all that goes out the window. You don't get that same treatment. You get treated like the fucking man, where that means your whims, your feelings, your thoughts on stuff it's irrelevant. Go out there and lead. That's what you're expected to do. Go out there and take charge. We don't want to hear you crying about shit. We talk about how boys are expected to be raised one particular way and girls are treated another way. Well, then if that's going to be the case, all that the script needs to get flipped. And again, with boys, nobody cares about their fucking emotions. Nobody cares about how they feel about stuff. Toughen up, get out there and do it. When women have those days, those time frames in the month, when I'm just feeling emotional, well, we don't give a fuck. Nobody wants to hear that. Get out there and go do it. Go do what you got to do. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. Suck it up, buttercup. That's what it becomes. So I think that I don't think that that's taken into account. It all looks good. Society does this, society, yeah, but there's things that you receive that you're benefiting from that again end up going out. You don't get to have it. You don't get to have both of those. It's no, well, I'm a leader. I'm the head of this company. Well, today I just feel emotional, you guys, and I don't want to. I'm feeling bad about this, and okay, now the stock price plummets. You're responsible for that. You don't get those privileges, and I'm not saying that that's what women do. I think a lot of them who are in those places, they suck it up and they do what they got to do, but nobody cares about those things. I think a lot of women who are not in those positions get the benefit of the doubt. Well, it's that time of the month. She's feeling like that. I'm not saying everything's about periods and menopause and everything like that, but let's be honest. I'd say almost every woman in here has used that as a reason or an excuse for something, or responding a certain way to something, or reacting to something a certain way. Like you don't get that special treatment. Okay, and now if we are flipping the script, saying that that the men are staying home and the women are working or whatever, are you willing to give men the same respect that you give the woman for having kids, for being a mom? Because we talk about being a mom is a full-time job, and it is a difficult job. There's no taking away from that. But outside of having the kid, if the man is going to be, if you're going to switch roles and women want to take the role, women aren't looking, well, those dads are doing such a great, you give credit to the single dads. But, there's a way society looks at it. If the man is staying home, but he's a stay-at-home dad, the mom's doing all the working, there's a certain perspective on that. There's not a balance, there's not a bias for men. And so what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that, you hit the lottery by, people taking your emotions and things into consideration, or the man putting you on a pedestal and wanting access to your needs, or being able to be I don't want to say submitted to, that's not the word I'm looking for, but there's a different level of concern when it comes to women versus men. Okay, and so to taking in power, to wanting to be a more powerful person, that level of concern starts to go out. The more power you get, the less concern you get, because then you become more responsible for other people and other things, and so your personal being doesn't matter. So when a man has to go out, he has a family to feed, and the wife and kids at home, and I know a lot of y'all, I work and I do this, and so y'all are not looking at it like that, but we're just talking about traditional to where we are now. Nobody's saying, well, hey man, well, I don't know, it's just an emotional day for me, and I just can't do it, or my toes cramping up. There's no sympathy for that. Get out there and go deal with it. That's just the way it's viewed. And again, I'm not knocking, I'm not hating on it, but that's how. Again, like I say, there's a standard there that I think gets overlooked quite a bit when it goes to men. And so I do believe that there are roles when it comes down to it. Okay, let me see what you're talking about. And I don't think, like I say, I think that women do have a lot of power behind the scenes, because again, being that backbone, Miss Grace said, behind every powerful man is a powerful woman, but you don't see it the other way around. I agree, and those women have input into everything, and I think that, you look at, well, no, not all the goats and the greats. Some of the niggas, they leave the old ladies behind, they swap it up, but for the most part, men that you of good character, who are appreciated in society, there's generally a woman that's back there, a woman that's motivated. You think about the great artists in history. generally a woman was their muse, so that's what they base their work off of. Or we talk about the ships and shit, all this other stuff. That women are powerful in ways that may not be visualized and at the forefront of everything, but I think that women do have a level of power. It just may not get appreciated in the same right way, or because you don't see it in a certain way. There's a whole bunch of people in here who love Obama, who would sit there and say that, oh, Obama ran it and didn't take the. Would you say that Obama didn't have any input from Michelle, that he just ignored her and didn't give a fuck about her opinions? I don't think that anybody would say that. So I think that there are roles, but because one role may be viewed as the powerful role, it's not saying that the other person doesn't have input and doesn't have an accessible level of power themselves. And so I think a lot of people just, it's how it looks, but not about how it really is. You know, the same way with a lot of these entertainers, athletes, and it looks like they're rich and they're balling, but all their money going elsewhere. They're paying people back, or they renting and leasing. So I think people have a perception problem, because people want to be perceived as one thing, but not realizing it's somebody else that's really winning off of it. Like even back in the day, I don't know how it is still now, probably so, but it used to be everybody thought the rappers and all those people were the ones winning, but it was the producers that was the ones that were winning. They were the ones really making all the money, and the rappers out there performing and everything, but the producers are the ones that are eating. And so what people don't realize is it's not the perception, it's the reality. So it could look like the men are going to war. They're leaders and they're doing all this. Why are they doing that? Why are the men out there going to war, sacrificing? Not saying that women don't do it now too, but for the most part on the front lines, it's a lot of men. It's not as many women, and the percentages are skewed a little bit. Why are men going out there risking their lives and dying? For the sake of women, for women's love. I don't think, look, I don't know if the gays are out there fighting for each other, but why do men go to war? To protect the women and children, for that love of women. And that's what it is. And so that has to be some type of power if somebody's willing to go and fight and die for you. You know what I mean? I think that you have to think about it. So, what are y'all going to talk about? Kanisha, who you attack? Kanisha's violent. She be attacking people. Just that Dallas shit going on. But, I do agree that women have a role, and again, a lot of it has changed. But if you think about it, the ones who are the most upset about it are the feminists, are the again, perception. And we know when it comes to feminists, there's a lot of misconceptions and misperceptions and falsehoods that get pushed by a lot of stuff. And I see the text message that says A or B, but I don't see anything else with it. So if I'm missing something, let me know. Maybe it's on dilly dally. But oh shit, I'm just not seeing this. I'm missing a whole bunch of man thinks I missed it. Like I'm missing text messages and shit. Wow, that's terrible. So I think it's perception. People. It's the same thing like even in the hood, right? What's what? Kanisha, catch a square then, goddamn it. You want to fight? I'll fight. I'm still waiting on Miss Meat popped her head back in to say she was back and then disappeared. She's supposed to be arguing for one of these contestants. But no, I'll push it to the side. My thing is this, man. Lost my train of thought actually. We'll talk about Kanisha, talk about want to fight, and no, the only thing I just saw the message that A or B. That's the only thing I saw. But my thing is this, again, it's these perceptions that people look at the good. They don't want. Oh yeah, that's talking about like even in the hood. Think about it, right? Who killed with chivalry? Chivalry. How we had that conversation? It's been a long time. But who killed chivalry? I think women killed it. But this is not a woman bashing night. This is a woman loving night, and so I'm trying not to woman bash. But even in the hood, you see the man rolling around. He got all kind of fancy cars and gold. He's the big dope boy and all that type of shit. Everybody wants to be the man, right? Everybody wants to be the big dope dealer. But not realizing what this dope dealer is doing, who all he's feeding, who all he's taking care of, the risks that he's taking, the people he's supplying, just the things that are going on. All you see is the flashiness, the attempts on his life And I'm not validating or justifying dope dealing, but I'm just saying I know it's something a lot of other people look up to, you know, and people just want to be the man just because. And I think that same thing goes in with like feminism. I don't think most women want to do certain things. We asked, like I said, I was asking about the WNBA, and Miss Bad Bougie said she don't have any, she don't has no interest in looking at. Oh man. Actually, I'm gonna have to shoot you my main line there, Trio, so that way you can get the you know I'll shoot you the VIP. I'll shoot you the main line, the real line. But my thing is that even women don't wholeheartedly support a lot of women in these things. You know, I talked about the other day. Would you rather a crew of women firefighters coming to save you from a burning building or a male crew? Now, a lot of y'all trying to be funny. You know, it don't matter whoever best suited for the job. Let's be honest. And I was straight up. I would rather it have to be, if I'm passed out in a building, I'm a large man. I'd rather somebody, I prefer it would be male, unless it's just some Samoan woman. You know, because them Samoan women, they got the juice. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the calves or something. Unless she's Samoan, I would probably prefer it to be a male that has to rescue me, because more than likely, if it's a woman, we're not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to make it. And so I think that's a problem. So, you know, it is what it is. You know. But what I'm saying is, but here's my thing though. Write your own name in or not, ain't nobody else gonna vote for you. I ain't voting for you, Angela. I like you, but I ain't gonna vote for you. I don't know about your politics. They're questionable. You make all the men go work at Publix. But my thing is this, is if women don't even support women like that, why are men expected to if they don't see it the same way? Because your thing was, well, no woman will ever make it because you know men ain't gonna ever want to vote for a woman. See Hillary, but you didn't even vote for Hillary, right? So that's my thing. That's what I'm saying. You know, hot fire. All right. How did fire start, female pimp? You were probably cooking. That's probably what happened. If you were cooking, that's probably how fire got started. Y'all give me just a second. I'm gonna take a quick honcho hiatus. Let me take a note of the time so that I make sure y'all get y'all accurate extra minutes. And I'm gonna be right back. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where we at? I saw a false accusation right before I was leaving, claiming that I was wanting a man to win. I want it to be a fair election, and I want whoever deserves to win to win. That's all That's all I want. Perform live on the deal with this song. That'll be tough, man. That's tough. Let's see. Yeah, we were talking about Hillary, and like I said, the reason why women don't even support each other in the same manner. It's a lot of different things that could be done, but I don't think they really support each other like that. I think when it's against a man, yes, but when it's about real empowerment or really, moving forward, I think it's a different situation. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. I have no problem with the BBWs, but I don't want to be rescued in a fire from a BBW. We get stuck in a window, and it's it could be bad. Yeah, I'm on the debate whether or not I'm gonna change the song or not. I'm trying to figure out, does this song represent the den? What is the den? Is the den when you're anticipating the den? I know the shit I listened to beforehand, the den is definitely nothing like this song. But when you're anticipating the den, is it kind of like a mellow mood? Is it like, hey, okay, I'm looking forward to some good conversation. I'm looking forward to trolling. I'm looking forward to arguing with somebody. I'm looking forward to just hearing different views. So it's like, what kind of music is appropriate, right? What kind of music is, associated with the den? So that's kind of where I am. That's what I'm trying to figure out exactly where we lie with that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening? Hello.
This is Miss Grace. I never call back twice. Another thing I was say, this new thing when a man and a woman is having a child, now they're saying, we're pregnant. That sounds so weird to me. No, we're having a baby. I'm pregnant, and bitch, you got me pregnant, but you are not carrying anything in your belly and it's popping out your dick. You know what I mean? But they're saying, we're pregnant. That sounds so ridiculous to me. I could see that one person, I won't say a name because I won't even give them credence, but they have a problem with the call that I made earlier. That's too bad. I am who I am, you know what I mean? And maybe she doesn't realize I'm older school, like Mrs. Bell, even older school than her, you know what I mean? And these are my beliefs, and I'm not going to change. I grew up at a time, you mean, that the idea was for women to not remain in abusive relationships, you know what I mean, and so they can make money, you mean, so that they didn't have to put up and rely on men who cheated on them and brought home STDs and were abusive to them, but nothing changed as far as the men didn't come home and then the women went out to work. Our job got doubled. We would run the household, taking care of the kids, plus having to go to work and do all of that. I watched the decline of our society. Look what happened. Look around. It wasn't always like this. You know what I mean? So, and just because, we may look powerless to some people, looking powerless is a great advantage. You know what I mean? We women can take care of things from the background. We're like gutter snipers or side snipers. You know what I mean? We handle it from the background and run the show. You know what I mean? We're not weak. And somebody in particular thinks that I'm thinking that women are weaker or we're less than and we can't. No, we're extremely powerful, you know what I mean? But we have the ability to purr and roar. I keep saying that. Now, men only get to roar. You let me see a nigga say they're purring and I'm done. Don't you ever purr, Honcho. Think about it. We women can purr and raw, but guys can't do that. They can only roar. They better not ever purr. You mean, so once again, we have something extra that we can do, and it's acceptable, and we can slide in there and make things happen so sweet. You know what I mean? And it's so powerful, and it just hurts me for anybody to think that we would give that up. You know what I mean? That's giving up an extremely powerful position. You mean just to be seen, so that we can say we're a president now. You mean, or look at me, I'm a woman, look at me, now I'm a leader. You don't have to look at me as a leader. You don't have to call me a leader. It doesn't matter what you call me. It matters to what I answer to and what I'm doing and my results. That's what's important. And that's all I have to say for anybody that has a problem with the things that I'm saying on this phone and on this show. Okay, I'm going to sleep now.
All right, Ms. Grace. Well, I appreciate you calling back in and detailing your views so that you're perfectly understood.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Right, Ms. Grace, thank you. Now, what I'm talking about, if you got plex or fight, go with that. Quote the philosopher Pimp C. So my thing is, this though, right? So what is the big benefit if say a woman does become president? What changes? What changes as a whole? Because let's think about it. Barack became president. Black guy became president. What changed as a whole for black people? Like, where does the game change? Does it really? Or is it just a figurehead to say, hey, look, well, we gave you that. You got what you wanted. Back to the boards. You know what I'm saying? Back to what we've been doing. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we have calling into the den this evening?
Hello?
Hello?
First of all, she don't gotta say no name. Fuck her and how she feel. Everything she said on that second call matched nothing to what she said in that first call. What fucking part of women need to be inside having fucking babies, standing behind a man, match, we strong and we purr and we raw? Get the fuck out of here. And Big M, or whatever the fuck your name is, let me tell you something. The only reason why I'm not addressing you is because I don't speak fucking idiot. Get your shit together. But that's why I don't got nothing to offer on this topic. I don't have nothing to say. I just called to say she ain't got to say damn motherfucking name. Fuck her and her views. And don't try to bring Miss Bell into this. When Miss Bell talks, Miss Bell makes sense. Ain't nothing about her first fucking phone call made sense. That's why I said what the fuck I said.
So how do you feel? I mean, so what should a woman's place be? So what should a woman be doing?
I just said how I felt. I just tell you I don't have nothing to offer.
Nah, you got something to say.
Let me tell you something, because you being messy.
How am I being messy? You got something to say. If you feel a particular way, that means you got something to say. That's all I'm saying. So you obviously have to feel some level of...
I feel some kind of way because I didn't like what she said.
Okay.
That's my point. I didn't like what the fuck she said. Nothing is wrong with the world going how the world is going. If women won't work and have babies and make a family, that's what the fuck a woman chose to do. Back in the 50s and the 60s, women stayed home and they had babies and they abided by their man because that's what the fuck they was raised to do. In the 20s, 30s, and 40s, they had finishing schools that trained women. You only own this world, only walk in this earth to make a baby and abide by a fucking man. Fuck that. And no, Big M, I got one fucking child, one fucking husband. That don't mean I need to agree with what the fuck she's saying. Both of y'all sound fucking stupid. She not gonna give credence by not saying the name. You gave all the fucking credence you wanted to give with that dumbass second phone call. She could have stayed the fuck off the phone and kept talking stupid in the fucking chat with her silly fucking name.
So, Miss Kenesha, do you want to tell us how you really feel?
I mean, she pissed me off. She could have kept that second call to herself. That's what the fuck she could have did. I was trying not to disrespect her in the chat because, you know, I get mad and I curse. I'm already trying to decipher this bullshit Big M talking.
I don't believe you're a curse. I don't think you get mad like that.
I mean, you know, fuck. You know. But, I mean, it is what it is. I said what I said. She obviously felt some kind of way. She called back. She got me fucked up. She not gonna give credence to the girl. Bye, girl. Bye. Go to bed, girl. Bye.
Okay. So now that you're here, now that I got you here, you ain't going nowhere. We finna talk about some things.
We not about
Yeah, we finna talk.
I do not
no,
have nothing to offer
yeah, you do.
on this topic.
Yes, you do.
I needed to call and address her
okay.
second phone call
So-
because I didn't like what the fuck she
Okay,
said.
well now you address it. Now we finna address the
Period.
topic. We finna address the topic. Question
Okay.
mark. Cause I got questions.
Okay.
So question mark. You got your period. You done with that. I got the question mark. Okay, so
Okay.
what I need to know is your feelings about women in power. Do you think that women support other women in power as far as presidential, CEO, or other areas like that? Powerful women in entertainment, things of this nature?
No, I don't feel like women get their due diligence. I don't feel like they get the support they need. I don't feel like they get the support that they deserve, mainly because of mindless fools like K. Grace and Big M. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Do I support Hillary? No, I don't. I don't. Do I support Kamala as president? I don't, but they're not going to take away from what the fuck she did when she was running the office that she was running, when she was on the stand, when she was prosecuting. They're not going to take away from the job she did that.
Well, do you think there was a
As
double?
president, no. She might need to sit down, somewhere and stay in her lane. You might want to wait for somebody to pick you to be vice president or, try to be secretary of state or some shit. I feel like when it comes down to president, she might not be what America needs. But fuck, if Donald Trump could be president, Daffy fucking Duck could run this country.
What? So what's your beef with Donald Trump?
Excuse me?
So what's your beef with Donald Trump?
I don't have no beef with Donald Trump. I don't know that man.
Well, what is it that you don't like about his presidency?
I don't like that with Donald Trump as president, nationalism and racism is at a front line. It was a time racists threw bricks and hide their hands. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now they out there auditioning like this what it is supposed to be. I feel like Donald Trump is the reason for all of that. Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't like the way that him and his supporters give credit for what started in the previous presidency. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the economy up. Yeah, jobs up. Yeah, black people income is on the rise. But keep in mind, that didn't start with Donald Trump. And it's not going to end with Donald Trump. The bullshit that's going on in the world, like a president that feel like he need to go behind closed doors to talk about a prospective war, and you leaving your chief of fucking strategic analyst out. You leaving fucking, what's the people that take the notes and let people know what went on in the meeting? You leaving them out. Something is wrong with that as a president. Something is wrong when you have 17 out of 23 positions acting. Something is wrong when people don't want to work for you. So yeah, you doing something, but you're not doing enough. And he need to get the fuck out. He needs to get the fuck out. And any person, it's specifically a woman, any woman who would back that man, I don't give a fuck if he goes down the street, round the corner, and pull the first black woman and stand up at a congressional hearing as a prop. Oh, I'm not racist. This one black woman worked here out of how fucking many? 570? You went found one and stood her up on the fucking Honcho. Look, I called her to let Miss K. Grace know she got a problem with the fuck I said. I said it. That's it.
So, what is it that Trump is supposed to do that would make you feel better about this situation?
How about you run the country? How about you do that? How about when you have countries sending missiles and you have people sending word that these people is thinking about attacking the United States, instead of sending a tweet, you set up a meeting. You know what Donald Trump did when Iran was, I guess, I never really felt like it was a threat of war with the United States. But when Iran was talking that cash money shit, you know what our president of the United States did? Instead of hiring or utilizing the people that's in the positions that they need, he set up a phone number through the Swiss government and then sent a tweet. If Iran won't talk about it, tell them, call them. What the fuck? Get out, please get out today.
So you think that he should have set it off?
No, I don't think that he should have set it off. I never really thought it was a credible threat of war, but work out the issues. You see what I'm saying? Put an attempt. Stop talking cash money shit online like you about to do something. And then when these people do start popping missiles off towards us, he going underground. His people going underground. It's regular American citizens that got to deal with that. Fuck him and the horse he rode in on.
Damn, the horse ain't do nothing to nobody. What the horse got to do? I said, what the horse got to do? The horse ain't do nothing to nobody.
I'm good. You know what?
What the horse? I thought, we support animals over here.
Like I said, I only called this number because I needed to address Kate Grace's second phone call. She may not feel a need to name drop, but I will, because she should have kept that fucking phone call to herself. Nothing about the second phone call matched the first. That's the only reason why I called. That's it. Nothing to offer on this topic at all.
You got something. I'm going out the way just because I'm curious, because you don't call in very much, so I'm trying to take advantage of the opportunity that I have. And so,
you know why I don't call a lie, Honcho? Because I get mad real fast and I curse a whole fucking lot. You see what I'm saying? So I'd rather just talk shit in the chat. On top of the fact that I don't feel a need to dress anonymous idiots. You see this big M fool or whoever the fuck he is, then he gonna feel a need to express that he got a wife and 2 kids and they both shit is bullshit. Any man with a respectable wife at home is not gonna type the bullshit he was typing in them fucking comments. So he could miss me with that.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. The only reason I keep Big M around is because I'm trying to get his burrito recipe. But as soon as I get on that, I'm gonna tell DeMarcus to do my dirty work.
No, you're not gonna put DJ out there, baby. You're gonna handle your own bullshit.
Nah, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no plex. I'm gonna do it Donald Trump style. But no, seriously. So do you feel like advancements have been made by women over the last few years? Because you said back in the day they used to train them only to follow men and do what men wanted. Do you feel like women have made progress the last few years, even though one did not become president?
Obviously, we have. It's more women CEOs. It's more women heads of foundations. It's more women even behind the scenes doing their fucking thing. Give women the respect they deserve. Don't say a woman, the reason kids or teenagers is so out of whack because their mama decided to work. It's husband and wife combinations and they both have jobs. You work 8 to 5. Your baby go to school 8 to 3. Lord forbid you able enough to get them in a program or after school activity that might run till 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Then you get your baby, you go home, you cook your dinner, you help with homework, you get stuff together for the next day, you go to bed and you have a good night. Where is it sketched in stone that says a working woman cannot properly support her family? That don't make no sense to me. And it's boring as fuck staying home. I got 1 child. And guess what? The day I found out I was pregnant, I went to work the next day and resigned. I stayed home the whole 9 months. I breastfed, so I stayed home 18 more months after that until a doctor told me, and the girl got reflex. She can't drink your breast milk no more. She got to go on regular milk. Well, if I ain't breast, I'm not a nurse and parent no more. I'm going my dumb ass back to work. I've been at home 2.5 fucking years. It get boring. The walls get to closing down on you. You see what I'm saying? My child good. My family good. Working an 8 to 5 job. So women can do it. That's bullshit. A woman needs to be at home, raising the family, taking care of kids, because women decided to work. Get the fuck out of here with that. Baby, look.
I was going to answer the question. Y'all know how Honcho do, but I'm gonna keep it above the board tonight because this is Respect Women Night. So I ain't gonna even get crazy. I ain't even gonna have no fun. But Miss Kenesha.
I mean, we could get crazy. I already called that 100. I was trying not to.
No, you good. I'm gonna save it though. I'm just keep it in my notes. I'm gonna bring it up Friday night.
Hold on, Honcho. James, I'm only heated because Kay Grace felt the need to double back and make a second phone call to explain the bullshit she spat out her mouth on the first phone call, and it didn't match. It didn't match at all. The second phone call, she all, women empowered, and we can purr and we can roar, and men can't. Girl, get the fuck out of here, because you didn't say none of that the first phone call. You didn't say none of that. Women was trash, who the world is crazy because we decided to go back to work, and we not raising our fucking kids. Get the fuck out of here with your stupid fucking ass.
So are you more of a purr or a roar?
I mean, I'm a Leo, so we can do all of it.
Okay. All right, interesting. Yeah, that's definitely the boot right there. As much as I talk that Dallas shit, that's definitely the boot. Um,
I keep telling you, I just live in Dallas, baby. I'm from New Orleans. You know
uh,
what, just Sarah? I used to think Miss Grace was a sweetheart, and I've never disagreed with any phone call that she's made into the den line up until tonight. And because I chose to chat about how I didn't agree with what she said, she felt the need to get back on the phone and talk about not giving credence to name dropping. Girl, fuck you.
mm.
Stupid fucking ass.
And see, fellas, this is the problem. See, men never do this. Men never do this. Only women attack each other like this. But seriously, okay, Miss Kenny. So what is it that you think would take for this will be my last question for him. I ain't gonna hold this too much longer. What is it gonna take for women to feel, like they've reached a certain status of equality? Because you still see a lot of women, even old gal was campaigning on it, that women aren't being treated equal. They're not getting the same respect. That there's all these other things that are not right between men and women. So what is it gonna take, in your opinion, for there to be a considered level of equality?
I mean, in terms of level of equality, I feel like we have so much longer to go. Even with the amount of women that's running for president, the fact that these women can stand up today and even attempt to run, we know they're not gonna make it. You see what I'm saying? But just the fact that they can say that we making progress, but we still have it's a long road in front of us. Women still don't make the same money as men. Women still have to fight harder for promotions. A man will be looked at for a promotion on the strength of his connections and who he cool with. Women gotta close accounts. We gotta bring in millions. We gotta rebuild the organization. We gotta do all this with our hands tied behind our fucking back and 6-inch heels, smiling, still being overlooked by what's rightfully ours. You see what I'm saying? So no, in terms of equality, we not there yet, but we coming. We coming, but then when you think in terms of the minds of people that think how Miss K. Grace feel, that the world of people or kids are not coming up right because mothers are choosing to work over staying home and support their family. So when a child is at school from 8 to 3, K. Grace and BM, who the fuck she at home managing? How long do it take to wash a load of clothes or cook a fucking pot roast? They got to be inside all day doing that? Fuck no. You go get on a job and you make your own money. Because in the 60s and the 50s, women was at home being told, spend this, do that. Spend, you know what? And I don't even mean to put this much of my business out there. I work in mortgage, right? And the level of, well, let me just say this. In terms of foreclosure, some states have, it's called the redemption period, right? Where if they choose to foreclose on you, you get about 6 months to refinance or come up with a payment, do something to make the bank feel better before they put you out your house. You know how many women we talk to on a daily, they get foreclosure notices. They had no idea that their mortgage was $20,000 behind, $40,000 behind, because the husbands ran the books. The husbands paid the bills. Now, these are not modern 80s, 90s, 70s women. These are older women, 50s, 60s. You see what I'm saying? Calling in, they 82 years old. Now they got to figure out how they going to make a $900 SSI check work to get them out of a fucking past due mortgage to save their house in 6 months. All because their husbands ran their finances. They set their ass down and they allowed him to balance the book. Who the fuck is balancing a checkbook? If we get a bill in this house, you better open it and let me know how much it is and how much you fucking paid. But in the terms of the minds of people that think like K. Grace, these types of women are in trouble. You know why? Because they let the man run the money. They let the man make the decisions. They let the man go to work and decide how everything gonna be. Then when the man die on their fucking ass, they gotta figure out how they gonna do everything. No, you should have been involved from the beginning. You should have knew what was going on from the beginning. That's what separates us modern women from them old age women.
Well, see, it'd be the women's fault that the man be dying early anyway. Y'all be killing
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. If you're at home every fucking day and all the fuck you got to do is think about what he gonna eat, is his clothes washed, is he gonna be happy, is his wallet, watch, and keys on the table to walk out the door the next day, I send that motherfucker in the early grave too. At some point, I gotta live my motherfucking life.
That's fucked up. You can't take like a yoga class during the day, you know, some aerobics or something down at the YMCA. They got like the water aerobics in the pool and shit. I mean, that's shit you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can find some.
I can't fucking stand you. Every time I talk to you, I cannot fucking stand you.
I'm just trying to come up with some options here. I don't want everybody to win. I want everybody, you know, to walk away from the table with something, you know, and now just talking shit. Okay. Well, I mean, you got to speak your truth, man. You gotta give it your perspective. And so that may have a influence or a way your own personal experiences, you know.
Yeah.
You know. But just remember, I'm gonna have a question for you Friday night. So make sure you hear, you know, the birthday celebration.
Did I say I was calling Friday?
No, I didn't say you had to call. You can answer it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Look, okay. I call you. Look, man. You better realize who this is. I call you. Look, we be sitting here waiting. Look, I call from a different number.
Let me change my motherfucking number.
Okay. All right, well, Miss Kenesha, well, I appreciate you sharing your views and your displeasure.
No, don't do that. I didn't share no views.
You didn't share some views. You talked about you didn't care for Trump. So there wasn't views on Trump.
I don't.
That wasn't your personal views on Trump.
I don't care for him.
Okay, well,
that is my personal view, but that's not why I called.
But you shared those
to address K. Grace.
But you shared those views.
That's why I called to address K. Grace.
But you still shared those views. So I'm appreciating those views that you did share. And you also voiced your displeasure with Miss K. Grace and her sentiments. And this is the Den. We're all entitled to free speech here, so everybody will be heard. The people must be heard. So
I know you're right. You're right, and that's why I called, because this is the Den, and we all gonna be heard. And what the fuck she wasn't gonna do was call here and backtrack on what the fuck she said on that second phone call, and then talk about not giving credence to nobody's name. Fuck her.
Okay.
Where's she from? Do anybody know? Do anybody know?
Yeah. She's from New Orleans.
How long she been here?
She's from New Orleans.
No, she ain't from no fucking New Orleans, because in New Orleans, women do their thing. Baby, we ain't standing quiet behind no fucking man. Not in New Orleans. That's what they say our problem is. Our attitude and our fucking mouth. We ain't bred to stand behind no fucking man.
That's tough. But see, Big M, you ain't represented enough, so she just missed you. She want to talk to Miss Grace. She said you ain't really worth it, Big M. You ain't want to come off the burrito recipe. You irrelevant right now. Okay. Well.
Burrito recipe. Is he Latino?
Yeah. I'm trying. That's what I told you. Like I like Hispanic. They got that original recipe. You know, I don't want the Taco Bell recipe. I'm trying to get him to break bread with that original burrito. You know. Enchilada recipe, so I can add it to my repertoire. Then once I get that up out of my mouth, I have to give him the boot.
You gotta love a fucking Latino that support Donald Trump and women being under men. You gotta love them. You gotta fucking love them. Some kind of fucking clown.
Why can't like Donald Trump?
Fuck him. Fuck him and her.
Well, all right, Miss Kenesha.
I can't really address Big M because, like I said, I don't speak idiot. So to decipher what he typing in the chat is a little hard for me to do because I speak English. Idiot is not a second language of mine. With his simple-minded fucking ass.
That's tough.
Anyway.
I don't know what to tell you, player. Look, I tried to help you out, player, but you know I can only do something.
You ain't got to help him. He got it. You not reading the chat. He got it. Or he talking cash money shit. Or he was. He tried to backtrack when he dropped that shit about having a wife and kids and both of them doing it all together. Get the fuck out of here, because that don't match what you was typing in the chat.
Okay. This is tough. This is what I'm talking about. Fired up in the goddamn deal tonight. All right, Miss Kenesha. Anything else you'd like to add, Miss Kenesha?
Nah. I'm gonna smoke my cigarette and get in my fucking bed.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in, and I will be talking to you soon, whether you think so or not.
I might call Friday, depending on the topic. You better put some thought to it.
Better put some thoughts. I put thought in every time. What you mean? I will see you Friday.
Okay. All right. I'll see you Friday, man.
All right, appreciate you calling in.
Bye.
All right. Oh, y'all got fired up tonight. Let me see what's going down. That's what I'm talking about. You gotta have that energy. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Oh, Honcho, you know I had to call in on this shit. This is a hot mess. Okay, now let me give some credit where credit is due.
Okay.
I like Kenesha. I mean, yeah, it's Kenesha. I think that she definitely gave her opinion, and it was valid from her side of view. I'm not sure what she agreed with me on because she never went in to explain that, but I'm okay with it. Not okay with her attacking Kay Grace. Now, I may not feel the same way as Kay Grace, but that doesn't mean I get to bash her as being a female. All right, here's the bottom line. I was blessed enough that I get to stay home with my kids as long as I could. I was pregnant with one and had another one and was in college full-time and was working and still had a husband. Now, it got to a point later on when my husband and I made a decision that he was working and I stayed home full-time because that's what we chose to do for our situation. Now, we chose for our situation for me to carry the books. Now, I'm glad of that because, again, he passed away and I'm going to be okay. And Kenesha is right. The women do need to know what's going on in the bills, but so do the men. That's why it is a business relationship, not just a romantic in the sack relationship. When you're partnered up with somebody, it's all the financial, it's all the emotional, it's all the shit that goes on between the two people. Now, I am halfway in between Kay Grace and Keisha as far as age goes. So I'm seeing both sides of the fence, and both ladies' positions are valid because that's how they feel. And did I like working and knowing I brought a check in? Absolutely. Did I kind of hate the fact that I had to rely on his income? Yes. Was I grateful for the fact that he brought home a check and the fact that I got to be home with the kids? Yeah, I was grateful for that. Did I climb the walls sometimes? Absolutely. But it was something that we worked out in our partnership, and every individual partnership is different. And it's not our right to shit on somebody else's situation. You know, it's not easy. I was lucky. I married my baby daddies. My children's father. However you want to put that. Not everybody gets to do that, whether it's through it not working out, the death of the man, or whatever. You know, and some women go through hard times their whole lives, and other women just float through life. You know, they meet their first boyfriend, they have their first kiss, and for them 80 years later, they're with that same person. Doesn't all work out that way for everybody. But I think one of the things that I do disagree with is not allowing each person's situation to be valid for their experience and circumstance. And that's one thing that I disagree with Keisha on. She's absolutely right for her opinion and where she's come with her experience. I give her all the credit in the world for that. However, this is one of the things that really pisses me off in society is knocking another woman because you have a right to not agree with her, absolutely, but don't knock her down for what her belief system is. That's the negative thing that women do behind each other's back. Instead of supporting each other being different, we don't want to like them because they're not saying what we're saying. And that's where I kind of get a little frustrated. You know, agree to disagree. And that's something that has gone on in the women's realm for a long, long time. Now, I might be saying something different if you're stepping out with somebody else's husband or somebody else's man or whatever. However, how you raise your children is your choice. It may not be what I would do, but that doesn't give me the right to knock somebody else because you're making a different choice than I would do. And Kay Grace and I come from the same New England cloth. So I'm not particularly backing her in the fact that it's a style of how we grew up. And she has her choices about how she does stuff. I really, really like her, and I respect her. And Kanisha, I like her, and I think she's a spitfire, and I think she's got some great point of view. But ladies, we've got to stop knocking each other because, you know, it's just not cool. And you're both absolutely right with your valid opinions about where you come from in your experience, just like my opinion is valid with my experience. And God knows I've been more times wrong on this show than even Honcho can tell you. And I'm okay to admit that. And you are a really smart, Honcho, for just kind of stepping back and letting the ladies talk it out. But that's the awesome thing about this particular situation is that we're able to do that. And we have a place that we can talk about it semi-safely. I'm not sure. Have you got any questions for me on this one?
How much of it do you think is, well, just one. How much of it do you think is the age difference? In between
The generational difference?
Yeah, the generational difference, yes.
I think it makes a huge difference. Because I hear my daughter saying stuff to me like, Mom, you don't understand, da, 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 da. And I think that, nope, I don't understand some of the stuff that goes on in her generation because it's stupid as hell. I don't understand some of the stuff that happened in Kay Grace's generation because it's stupid as hell. Hell, I don't understand some of the stuff that's going on in my generation because they're idiots. However, we deal with circumstances as we deal with life, one day at a time. I was blessed to not grow up with the fact that I had to be married to a man to feel like I was valid as a human being and as a woman. You know, my coming up time was through the 70s and 80s before I hit my 20s. And it was still the fact that it took probably until I actually was married to feel validated on some levels. But that's just from personal experience. That has nothing to do with what society was doing. And do I think that women's lib? Yeah, I think it actually took us back about 50 years at a whack on some levels. Because the fact is honestly, in straight relationships, and I say this because it's the only experience I have, is that sometimes women and men don't know what position to be in. It's like, well, if I help her out with the dishes, she's going to expect me to do it all the time. And women are like, well, if I know how to cook, he's going to expect me to do that all the time, and I don't want to. So I see that people are not taking responsibilities for things that we used to do because we have a lot of easy outs, whether it's microwave meals or dishwashers. But it's stepping up and being responsible and accountable in the relationship. And that's not something that's always done, and that's why we have a high rate of divorce, because it doesn't work out. Personally, I think that people don't date like they used to. There's not that old-fashioned courtship. Call me old-fashioned. I don't mind being old-fashioned. You know, and I am been out of the dating field for over 20 years. And to be honest with you, my God, the gene pool's gotten frickin' small. You know? So it's just, it's a lot of things. You know, I can honestly say women have come a long way from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And we have rights, but we also have responsibilities. You know, men aren't always as sure, hey, they're going to bring home the bacon, but who's going to pay the bills and who's going to fry the steak? Those are the things that need to be worked out between two people in a relationship. And I think Kenesha's absolutely right. Both parties need to be financially responsible in the partnership. I've met and know women who didn't know what it was like to even have a checkbook because their husbands took care of everything. And I've also been on the other side of the coin where the wives would not pay the bills and the husbands were freaking out and had to do overtime because they were going to the casinos. It happens both ways. And we can't make generalizations about specific situations on a vast, generalized society anecdote. Am I making any sense?
No, I got you. Yeah, I think that sometimes we apply our own beliefs into other people's shoes, I guess, and we don't really look at it from their own personal perspective. We try to look at everything, I guess, our lenses, but I get what you're saying.
So I've probably been on too long. Don't forget my pistachios.
I got you.
I'll just say this. I think that we as women are far more validated in society than we've ever been. Do I agree with Trump? Absolutely not. He's our president and we're dealing with him. But the pen's my other sword. If you don't want him in there, vote him out. If you want him in there, vote him in. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Got anything more for me, Honcho? Am I all set?
No, that's all I got, Miss Bell.
Okay. Good night, hon.
Good night. Appreciate your call.
Yep.
Now, it is time, and that is the time limit for this evening. That is the 2-hour mark. Now, I'm going to do something, and normally I wouldn't do this. I told you I'm going to get real strict with the time. We reached the time in the bonus minutes, the bonus OT. Okay? So, I'm going to do one last thing. Normally I don't do this. And don't expect this to happen often. But hello.
Well, let me turn this down right here.
Okay.
First of all, what Miss Kenesha described was the exact opposite of me. I am a woman. I was a young mother. You know what I mean? I raised 3 kids, 2 biologically, plus 1 foster kid if she had listened. You know what I mean? I put myself through school. I got my double associate's degree, my bachelor's degree, and my master's degree I worked on simultaneously, and I ran my household very well and raised good kids. I did not say that women need to stay at home. She made it sound like I was a stay-at-home woman. Some of us do not have husbands at home, and if you sit there and know anything about our black community, you know what I mean, most of the black families don't have a man at home taking care of them, so the women have to take care of everything, and I am one of them. Yes, I'm bad to the bone, and I make no apologies for it. Next thing, to use the fuck, she has limited vocabulary, and I don't give a damn if she is from Louisiana, and I am from Massachusetts. You know what I mean? You had a kid at home, and you had a husband, and you work. Well, good for you. But you know what? I did even more than that, and did it extremely well. So don't get it twisted. The other thing is, I breastfed my daughter for a year, and my breast milk was good. So if you didn't have good breast milk, that's your issue. I had good breast milk. That's how much of a woman that I am. Normally, I don't like to have to call in to talk this way about anyone, especially a young person, because I don't like doing that. You mean because I like with Shannon and them, I would rather just teach them and nurture them, you know what I mean, and we can debate back and forth. But the way that she called in You mean, don't think that I am one of those women that I just sit back and I take that either, because I am not. You described the exact opposite of me. Anybody that's in that chat knows the type of woman that I am, and knows that I'm not one of those married women, and knows that I'm not one of those women that sits at home and just takes care of a man, because that's not the case. She described herself more than anything. That was her, not me. You know, I commend any woman that can run a household and do a job. You mean, but I did all of this single-handedly by myself and with God, and did a goddamn good job. And I will make no apology about it, and I will not change my stance. If you disagree with what I say, that's your business, because I disagree with some of the things that you say. But I would not call in there and fuck this, fuck me, fuck. And don't use the word fuck, you know what I mean, as an adjective before your child or your man's name if you have any respect for them. I cannot stand when people say my fucking kids. You mean, don't put that adjective in front of them. It's disrespectful. Yeah, that's right. I'm old school, and I said it. It's disrespectful. So learn something there. I'm going to sleep now.
All right, Ms.
Good night.
Grace. Appreciate you
That's
calling
right.
back. Well, technically I called back because Ms. Grace was trying to get in during Ms. Bell's call, and so I was going to allow her rebuttal. How am I wrong for that? If Ms. Kanisha has something she want to call back in and say, the line is not technically open, but Ms. Grace tried to call several times during Ms. Bell's call, so I wanted to allow her that. I didn't want to think that I allowed it to be one-sided. So she wanted to speak her piece. Now, if Ms. Kanisha has a rebuttal, I'll allow the line. I don't want to do it, but if she want to call in, I would open it for her, because then people going to be like, oh, you letting them call back and forth. But if Ms. Kanisha does not have a rebuttal or a reply, I want everybody to get it all out in the open, because y'all have gone past the time, and I want to take my ass to bed. Professor Trio showed me some love today. Even though he said I look like a fucking pirate extra. See? Because now it's gonna start a Royal Rumble. Because now it's not even gonna be a fight between, it's not a back and forth. Because now if I let Professor Trio call, there's gonna be 2 or 3 other people gonna be like, you ain't take my call, and they gonna be ready to scrap with me. But because y'all breaking the rules, all right? They're breaking all the damn rules. No, begin. Everybody else will call in, but you. So that's what I say. If I take this call, I'm not going to be up with y'all all night. So I got to debate this. Let me see. Let me see. What if Miss Kanisha want to call? She can call. If she confirmed that she want to call back. Oh, she called it. Okay, no. Let me open it back up. I didn't know he was calling in. Hold on. Let me open it back up, player. Hold on. Looks like y'all be in that chat operating and set the proper tones and the protocols. All right, Miss Kanisha, feel free to call back in, and I'm gonna let Miss Kanisha get her say so, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, y'all bring it up, but I want to allow the 2 parties. I don't want anybody to feel. Ain't no extended to hell, no, not tonight. I want to allow the parties to have a fair representation of themselves. So I don't want people to think that I'm being biased or taking sides. I'm allowing people to speak.
You woke up biased. Shut up.
What? Hold on.
So I'm just gonna respond to 2 things she said.
Okay.
First of all, if you curse, you have a limited vocabulary. If you curse a lot, you have a limited vocabulary. I curse all the fucking time. All the time. And then stand up at my job and speak so clear and good and articulate so well till I'm breaking down $100,000 acquisitions at my company. So my vocabulary is just fine. Secondly, no, you're not more woman than me because I breastfed for 18 months and I had to stop breastfeeding my child because she had reflux and she had to drink a special milk. And even then, I pumped for about 4 months and mixed the breast milk. Yeah, after 2 years, the breast milk I was still producing, mixed it with nectar because I only wanted my baby to drink breast milk. I did not want her to drink no motherfucking formula because I don't know what's in it. She needs to get what I'm producing for her. So yeah, you might have did what she said. She breastfed for a year or something. So she a strong woman. Guys, get the fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck if I called here and said fuck 100 motherfucking times. That's how the fuck I feel. That's what the fuck I wanted to say, and that's what the fuck I did. Now count that as you going to bed instead of cows. That's all I call back to say. Fuck her.
Okay, I got a question. I was gonna wait till Friday, but I'm gonna ask now.
What?
How big them titties got to be to get 18 months of breast milk out of?
You said what now?
I said, how big them titties got to be to get 18 months of breast milk out of?
I mean, you know, we regular. We ain't like jumping all up out the thing. We 36ers. You know, we chilling with ours.
Okay. I'm just curious. I just need to know. Like I said, I was gonna wait till Friday, but I'm just like, since y'all call back and we having breast milk battles and shit, I'm curious now.
You so fucking disrespectful. This is not a breast milk battle. This is a battle of wit. This is a battle of her calling back trying to say that I got her wrong. First of all, your first phone call, like I said 5 times on my last phone call, her second phone call didn't match the first phone call. And I don't give a fuck if she graduated 15 times, raised 12 kids, got 3 degrees, and she did it all hanging off a fucking titty with no man. Where your baby daddy at? Why you wasn't married with your kids? You called up in here speaking so forcefully about women and how they need to be at home doing what the fuck they got to do. Why you wasn't married with the option to stay home? Oh, my bad, because of the time you grew up in? All right, well, in my room, we make our own way. That's what the fuck we do. She vocab. What the fuck? Honcho, let me tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I really can't. This baby said to say fuck is disrespectful to say fuck before your child or before your husband. What the fuck that got to do with the price of tea in China? You could talk how the fuck you want to talk. You could curse till the cows come home. What that got to do with your level of mentality? It has nothing to do with your level of mentality, baby, because as far as book smart, I got it. Stupid fucking ass. She's not articulate because she said fuck. Bitch, I wake up and go to sleep saying fuck. And what? I mean, she just done really pissed me off tonight. And while I'm on the phone, let me answer Miss Bell. Usually every phone call you make, even though like you said out your own mouth, you be wrong a lot. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you be right. And usually I agree with you. I'm not going into particulars on your first phone call. I think Ms. Bell called 3 times tonight, right? I'm not going to go into particulars on her first phone call because she said some stuff in there that I didn't agree with. But it wasn't enough for me to call in and say anything. I called in and said what I said. And no, I didn't attack K. Grace. I called and responded to what she said in the chat behind me stating my opinion of her phone call. We got opinions. And I typed it. So fucking what? Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I just called in to say them 2 things. You say all the fucks and you know, you verbally illiterate, I guess. I don't know. Well, I curse and I speak.
Okay. After you, do you ever curse after you secure your $100,000 acquisition?
Man, look, my director curse. You be standing, you sit at your desk and you hit a loud as fuck. You heard that, K. Grace? And this come from a man that make $250,000 a year. He screamed fuck from his office. Okay? Because that's what people do. Sometimes you need a good fuck. Fuck tastes good coming out my mouth. Piss me off a good fuck or make me feel better any fucking day. Fuck. Get the fuck out of here. She got degrees and babies and went to work. Good. Somebody get that baby a trophy. Which one of the men call in with them cookies you always talking about, Honcho? Can we get him to send her a batch? I'll pay for it.
Man, those world greatest cookies.
Please get her a batch and shape them in a trophy so she could get her due diligence for all her hard work, her degrees, and her kids, and going to work and being a single mom and all that. Girl, get the fuck out of here. That's what the fuck she could do.
Okay. I'm just curious.
That's really all I call back for. For them two things right there. You can't you don't talk right if you say fuck, and if you don't breastfeed as long as her, you less than a woman. You see how fucking stupid she sounds? I cannot. Baby, this you got it, K Grace. You the winner. You won, baby. You hear that? Because you're not asleep. You low key listening. You the winner. You won. Anything else before I hang up?
No, ma'am. I don't think I have anything else to ask, Miss Kenesha.
What the fuck does the size of your breast got to do with Honcho? You get on my nerves.
I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, come on, look. Let's be honest. I'm not the only nigga that was thinking that, so I had to just ask for the men because they weren't gonna have the same opportunity. So I'm just curious. Look, 18 months, a year, or whatever. That's a long time. I'm just wondering where all the milk is being stored, where it's coming from.
It is a long time, and it is not stored. It's the suction. As long as you have a consistent suction flow, you gonna continue to process milk. Is the fastest way. That's why women who choose not to breastfeed, they tell them to wrap the ace band things around and make it tight, or smoke weed because it dried the breast milk. It stopped the production of it or whatever. But as long as you have a steady flow of suction, you gonna produce milk. They got women breastfeed. I think it's sick, but shit, till they kids 3 and 4 and 5 years old, that's gross to me. If you could walk your ass to the titty, you could walk to the icebox and get you a cup of fucking milk. I don't understand it, but it's women that breastfeed, well into toddler years. As long as they sucking, you gonna produce milk. It don't got nothing to do with the size of your breast. And K Grace, it don't have nothing to do with your level of womanhood. It's what God gave you as a woman, the ability to feed your child.
Well, hey, they say you learn something every night. You learn something new every day. Well, I guess you learn something in the den. How many fellas was curious? Come on now, y'all. I know y'all gonna probably leave me hanging because y'all some hating ass niggas. But how many fellas was curious? Like I was curious. I mean, just drop a 1 if you were, drop a 0 if you would. Y'all know, quick poll. But Miss Kenesha, I just had to know. I can't help. Some things just be on the mind.
Honcho,
sometimes you guys
nobody but you was worrying about the size of them damn titties. No. Nobody but you.
Okay.
Was worried about that.
I mean, look, hey, this is
and
science.
My daughter is 11, so they not they ain't the same titties they was when they was breastfeeding. She's 11 now.
I'm just saying, titty is a titty. It's a country titty, a city titty, titty's a titty. No matter, you can't complain. I'm just curious, about the science.
And little titties matter. They produce milk too. A cup, they produce, might be a little harder for that baby to. Might be a little difficult for them to get that suction right, but they breastfeed too. I hope every woman breastfeeds.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for providing your rebuttal and a science lesson for
now,
the fellas.
I need you to do me a favor.
What's up?
I want you to let Trill call.
Okay.
If he's still in the chat, or if he's still on, I want you to let Trill call.
Okay. I see we have a unanimous, a lot of folks want to let Trill call, so I'm going to let Trill call.
All right.
Man, some of y'all niggas and babies, look, DeMarcus, we don't agree on much, but thank you for having my back. Everybody else trying to leave me hanging. Y'all know y'all wanted to know. Y'all just didn't want to see me. Look, I'm a perv. I don't give a shit. I'm a goddamn perv. I'm wondering where all this milk is coming from, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Is it stored? Is it reproduced? Where's the milk coming from? It's like 18 months. Why? What kind of diet do you gotta have to get that kind of shit going? I'm just curious. Look. See, that's why you ain't gonna never get nowhere in life if you don't ask the right questions. You know what I'm saying? So y'all stop with the nonsense, all that shenaniganery. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll pull up. Ain't nobody.
What up, Honcho?
What's the motherfucking deal, Professor Trill, man? It seems like a unanimous decision that we need to talk to Professor Trill this evening. So, How are you feeling about what's been taking place this evening?
Man, I've been laughing for about the past 45 minutes. My fucking lungs hurt, Honcho. I feel like I done smoked about 6 packs of cigarettes, bro. I ain't never smoked a cig in my life, nigga. My lungs are hurt. I can feel every fucking molecule of the motherfuckers right now. Lord have mercy. Kanisha. Boy, she came in representing for the 99 of 2000, baby. Ooh, wee, man. All I could think about the whole time was when she was talking was I just started thinking of the fucking Juvenile song, and I was just like, "Girl, you cussing 'cause you mad yet? You mad yet? Want to hit her with a jab yet? A jab yet?" I was just dying. I was so fucking dying over here. Lord have mercy, that shit is so funny, and I love them both, man. I ain't trying to pick no sides. Hey, they're entitled to their opinion. I ain't got no dog in this fight, so that just is what it is. And when they started going about the breast milk, Honcho, you know what I thought about? Dave Chappelle, man. And I was just fucking tired of it. I could just see them both sitting on each side of him. And he's standing there, sitting on that nigga's shoulders talking about the breast milk shit, man. Lord have mercy. That was funny. Thank y'all for that. That was highly entertaining. Now, I don't normally like, you know what I'm saying, women to be beefing like that, but hey, that shit was funny. I mean, I'm sorry, it just was. It was semi-ridiculous when it came to some points, but funny nonetheless. And poor Miss Bell, she tried. She tried. Miss Bell, let me explain something to you, Miss Bell. Hey, you call a race star, you want to. Whenever it's 2 black women going at it, stay the fuck out of it. I'm telling you, know your role, man. Know your role. White people just need to let niggas handle their own shit. When it's some black on black shit, I'm telling you. Because you could try your best to mediate it, it's not gonna happen. I tell you that right now. They got to handle that shit on their own. But I appreciate the effort. I really do. But it did not work. It did not work. None whatsoever. Oh, man, Miss Grace. Miss Grace, I mean, it's just like, man, like you got the old school way of thinking and like the new school way of thinking. And what has to happen is, on both sides, Miss Grace has to understand and acknowledge the fact that the way that y'all were doing things back then, that's not really the way that things are done now. And what Kanisha has to accept and acknowledge is because of the way Miss Grace and then was able to do it back then allows her to be able to do it the way she does it now. So they both need to appreciate each other at the same time. So I'm not trying to mediate, I'm just saying. I see it from both sides. I can see both arguments, and it worked for both of them. But shit, I mean, what really matters is the kids came out okay. That's all that really matters. So, you know, you handled your business, you did what you had to do, you came out good, your kids came out good. That's the most important part. But it was funny. It was funny. I just need somebody to come at Rashida. I don't know who it is, but somebody got to come at Rashida ass. She ain't been fired up in a while. You know what I'm saying? You and her go back and forth, that's okay. But nah, I need one of these den ladies to catch Rashida on some bullshit and then just handle just 2-piece her ass real good on the phone. That's all I'm waiting for. I'm waiting on that. All that campaigning and shit. Nah, we gonna have to derail that, man. Derail that shit completely. See what you really talking about, Rashida. Come on with it. Somebody, anybody.
That's tough. Yeah, 'cause, you know, I saw. I'm not naming any name, but I've been noticing some vote tampering going on. I can't accuse any particular party, but I've just been noticing a lot of dirty pool being played in this election here. You know,
but can you really call it dirty pool? Because pretty much anything goes in the den chat. I mean, come on, Honcho, you know what it is. You know what it is. So if they allowing their vote to be bought, hey, it is what it is.
No, I'm not even talking about the just the purchasing of votes. I mean, you know, that is. I've seen voter suppression.
Oh, really?
There could have possibly been some threats issued. I'm not saying it's one party in particular. I'm just saying I'm saying it could be multiple parties. I've just noticed that it's I see why when it comes to running cities, counties, municipalities, and the country itself, I see why things get intense. I mean, this is just a small community of digital associates, and it's getting hectic. So I can definitely tell it can get shaky.
Man, I'm just seeing. I think like the ultimate call was just for Rashida to start talking shit, and then Heidi to call in one time and just be like, "Fuck you, bitch!" And, oh man, Honcho, I swear to God, I swear to God, bro, that would be it. That would be it. It would be all over. It would be all over.
Mm.
Lord have mercy. This kind of shit that go through my mind when y'all be doing what y'all be doing. I just think of some of the craziest, funniest shit, man, and just be laughing. I find people comedic. I really do. Oh goodness. But anyway, that's all I had. I ain't got no opinion on the subject. Let y'all ladies have it. And Honcho, I know you trying to get to bed, so I'm gonna let you do your thing, bro.
That's true, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was looking. That's a tough decision there, but I think B.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right.
All right.
All right. It's bedtime for me, so we're gonna wind it down. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm not gonna lie. The breast milk blow was just something I've never heard of before, and so it just took me to another planet. I've heard a lot of what do the youth call the youth be recycling our old word shit that we've been saying. I've heard a lot of capping in my life, but I've never heard a blow to the breast milk. And I'm trying to send me fake property fucking. I ain't got no property for sale. What you talking about? That just was, to me, I didn't even know where to go from there. Like that just there's just been a whole lot of stuff been going on. Heidi with a little drop in. Yeah, man, because the call was supposed to end 30 minutes ago, but took 1 or 2 more. So I'm taking this out y'all weekend time. Goddamn it, nah, I'm fucking with y'all. But I'm for the slide, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to the Den. Only in the Den would you get this. You know what I'm saying? Just this. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where and how. But don't worry. It's a new month. I told you we're gonna be doing some new things, so I'm gonna be looking at how to get the debate set up going, because obviously we're gonna have to get that going pretty soon. I'm guessing it's gonna have to be through Skype. We're gonna have to find our first 2 contestants, and I don't know if it's gonna be a day den thing or a night den thing, but we're gonna have to get it shaking real soon. So now we're taking votes back. What? That's tough, man. That's tough. But here's the deal. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. It is an honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to get to chop it up with y'all. Let's go through the proper protocols real quick, and then we're gonna get ready to slide up out of here. Y'all better guard your nuts, because Sweet Berry gonna touch all on them and steal them. And so if you appreciate them, you better hold them down. Excuse me. If you want to follow my personal social media, Honcho HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Shout out to everybody who fucking with it. Like the video, subscribe, share. Sharing is the most important thing you can do, because YouTube don't like you, boy. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, then show live. Then show live at Gmail if you want to send an email. We got 2 more this week at 1 p.m. dens, and then Saturday we'll have a 1 p.m. audio den. 7 days a week, we are live at 10 p.m. Central. Central time is the only time that matters. Den Show Podcast, if you want to be a part of the Saturday Den. Go to Den Show Shop. Get you to Never See a Hater in Real Life shirt. You got the Honcho's, my homie. Got a couple other things I'll be dropping, if not tomorrow, before the end of the week, hopefully. Streamlabs.com/The Den Show if you want to make a one-time donation to the channel. And shout out to all the Patreon supporters. Shout out to Dan, Diana, Miss Grace, James, Stina Starry, Betty Spaghetti, Donald Trump, and Miss Goya. I appreciate you having faith in the long-term success of this community. And the community is beautiful. Y'all are beautiful people. Some of you, not so physically attractive. But y'all all have beautiful thoughts and beautiful opinions, and I just think y'all are special people. Some of y'all ain't gonna let me. Some of y'all is, some of y'all work with this. If I was a single hunter, like Jack, you know what I'm talking about. Let me see. You say you officially vote for yourself? I don't know if I was thinking about making that rule, but I guess I can allow self-voting. I would assume presidents and elected officials vote for themselves. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me see. I don't know. I think that's all I got. That's all I got. I fucks with y'all, man. That's about that. I have no comments on some of these things that y'all be on and y'all be saying and y'all be. I'm a neutral observer. I am a neutral observer. But with that being said, I'm gonna be cool like y'all be cool, and I'm finna slide. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. I need to get some fucking sleep. I still got some shizzle to do. Man, look, Jack. I got to go to bed. I fucks with y'all, man. You gotta catch 2 hours is the limit, man. Y'all gotta catch within that time frame. I'm sticking to it. Tonight was special though. I had to make sure all the parties got heard and were able to rebut. But we ain't gonna be doing that too often. I'm gone.